Hello everyone, it's DA here, taking on the question of will there ever be dungeons in Warframe? Now this is a question from players who have been great fans of games such as Dark Souls, Bloodborne, The Binding of Isaac, Diablo, or even Zelda games. Now the answer is going to be yes, but with a little bit of twist that a lot of players might not like. Now it is no doubt that one of the things that bore players is not just the lack of challenges and what to do in Warframe, but mostly the lack of exploration of new places and also areas in the game. If as few years ago no one will expect that Warframe will even survive all the way up to this point, since 2013 all the way to 2017 a lot of people assumed that the game was gonna die. And with great experiences and a die-hard fan base, the game has been able to survive all the way up to this point. This also brought us to what we saw and experienced with the Plains of Eidolon. So with games like Warframe, everything is possible as long as the devs do not mess it up, and this is something that we've able to testify to as we've seen in years past. Now the answer to the question which came up again after Operation Plague Star can be found at the beginning of Warframe years ago. During all the different development phases of Warframe, the devs at DE have never shied away from admitting different influences for game mechanics and also the designs coming from different games, and they've even mentioned games like Dark Souls or their love for games such as Bloodborne. The list also grows as every developer within the industry is influenced by the other, and this is not a way of stealing, it is just a matter of admitting and also giving credits on the hard work of different developers within the industry. Deluxe skins in Warframe have also been ways to express these influences, and we can see that with skins from Rhino all the way to Frost, and the list goes on. But other than the influences of games like Dark Sector, which sits as a foundation for Warframe, how have these dungeon games influenced Warframe's level designs? Well, this can be first seen in the level and boss design for the Derelict and also the Lefantes mission. The dark emotion from the tileset brings a different feeling, however it still lacks some of the usual features such as a tougher enemy away from the big boss. But other than the meteor bosses that we were expecting in those missions, there is still a good implementation of vaults and also hidden rooms within the Derelict missions. Now last year DE did express their goal to expand the game in a much bigger way by giving players more to explore, and that is what we are getting and what we received with the Plains of Eidolon, which in other words is still not perfect, but I believe DE is working on improving that. The biggest one for me, however, when it comes to the evidence of dungeons in Warframe will be the caves below on the Plains of Eidolon, which in video game language is always associated with dungeons. But it is not that we haven't had any dungeon in Warframe or we haven't had the dungeon effect in the game so far. It is just that players want a dungeon with an organic feel, something that seems more natural and not something on a giant ship just like the Derelict missions. And slowly I see DE is beginning to implement that, and with verticality into the game, this is also something that can be easily seen with those caves below. Now the devs' confirmation about expanding the Plains of Eidolon is also one of them, and the mention of bringing open world to other planets further supports that claim that Warframe is really building and maximizing their style and design on a dungeon feel. Now compared to the beginnings of Warframe, the themes of the game is also getting mature and a lot much darker as the year progressed, and hopefully tougher enemies and designs will be seen in the future. From the depths of the void, the Derelicts, and even the caves on Lua and the hidden caves on Earth, we are definitely moving a lot much closer to this reality. So yes, the dungeon experience will expand in Warframe, and as much as I would like it to, I fear that DE may not bring it to expectation of a lot of players and people all around the world. But that is it for this video. Let me know what you think about dungeons in Warframe and also the massive features you would hope to see in Warframe in the future. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a thumbs up, share this video, and also subscribe to the channel for more. And as always, it is DA signing out. I'll see you guys on the next one.